Fire station.
Thank you, Monty. We'll call the meeting of the Board of Public Works June 2, 2025 to order. Roll call, please.
Mr. Rutherford.
Here.
Mr. Hoover.
Here.
Mr. Coleman.
Here.
Minutes of a regular session of our last meeting of May 19, 2025 been distributed to members of the board. Any corrections, additions, or deletions from staff?
Move for approval. Second.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next on our agenda is Christopher Jones, 615 Oak Drive. Afternoon, Mr. Jones. Come right up there.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Apologies for my appearance, just left work.
It's quite all right.
I came here today to appeal a notice that I got for my lawn, for like the weeds being too high. I cut my grass on April 28th. The grass was already sprouting. We had a lot of rain. I'm assuming someone complained on my lawn. At that point, I got a notice on the 7th that I needed to fix the issue. I tried to call to kind of get some like information on like what happened, kind of explain the situation. But when I called, I guess reception wasn't there, so they just said I had to call back in a different town. I work at Apple 40 hours a week, so I didn't get a chance to call. At that point and I have some documentation kind of showing my evidence that I had attempted to like fix the issue. On the 16th, I retrieved my lawnmower from my in-laws, and when I got home, the grass had been cut. I called at that point to kind of figure out what happened. The city came out and did it, and they told me I would have to wait and talk to John, who I guess runs the code department. I spoke to John the following Monday, and he told me to come out today to kind of talk about the situation I have with my property. I have a severe bleeding disorder. When I cut my grass on the 28th, I got a bleed. This is actually, I bought this in so you guys can see it. This is the major bleeding dose that I took on the 2nd. After I had my bleed, so I was actually out of work. I also have like screenshots of my work schedule that I wasn't able to work. I wasn't able to walk at the time to get that remedied before I was better to go back to work for my regular 40 hours a week. I really just wanted to come and kind of like talk about this situation because we lived in Greenwood for about a year. We really love where we are. We love the city. I've never had any kind of complaints or anything like that on my yard. I was trying to take care of the property just because this is something that I like to do. I'm a very clean and tidy person, but I can be. But I also work 40 hours. Again, I have a severe bleeding disorder and almost 3-year-old. So if people have complaints on my property, I'd love for them to come talk to me about it, and I can kind of explain my situation. But at no point did I ever, get to a point where I just didn't care about the situation or I didn't want to get it fixed. But again, with my personal situations as well as the weather, I wasn't able to get it done. And I actually have, again, like I said, screenshots of me picking up my lawnmower today, the 16th, that the grass was cut, with pictures with my wife that I even bought like weed and feed and things like that to help remedy the issue because I don't want this to happen again. I try to kind of stay under the radar and not cause any issues. So.
Okay, first of all, how are you doing health-wise?
I'm doing okay.
Good.
I'm doing
Okay.
Thank you for asking.
So have you been able to maintain, since you got your mower, you've been able to maintain the lawn?
Yeah, I just cut my grass 2 days ago.
Okay. I know it's been difficult with the rainy season and stuff.
Yes, sir.
John, I assume you're the John he was talking about. Anything you want to add to this? I don't have any documentation trying to read about what was going on.
So the only thing I would have to add is the notice of correction was posted on the 7th. On the 15th, we went back for reinspection, had been cut, property crews, the mowing crews went out, and they mowed it. I do have a question though, is that because the invoice was sent to FKH, SFR, Popco, so this gentleman was not invoiced his landlord was. So I think that may have some bearing in this situation, but that's just this typical case we deal with more than 1,400 we've done so far this year.
What's the fee?
I'm sorry.
What is the fee?
$235. Any more questions?
Thoughts, questions, Mr. Jones or for Mr. Lau?
First Key is the company that we rent from, and at our property, so they were sent the bill, and since they were sent the bill, they told us to fix the issue, or we would just be billed that rate, so,
Are you obligated under lease?
yes, sir.
I would think under the circumstances, might be able to waive this once. That would be all.
Is that a motion?
I'll make that a motion. I'll second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Mr. Jones, good luck.
Thank you guys so much, I really appreciate your time.
Stay well. Greg Yoko. Grove at Stones Crossing. Evening, Greg.
Good afternoon, I'm Greg Oka with Crossroad Engineers, representing Emmanuel Church. They're replanting block 2 of the Grove Stones Crossing, located kind of the northeast corner of Stones Crossing and 135 and the 3 blocks. Gone through a couple of iterations with the engineering department. I think we have everything tightened up, got all the revised Mylar, just ready for approval and execution.
Everything looks good.
Everything's good.
Okay, I'll move for approval of the request as presented.
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Thank you
Thanks,
very
Greg.
much. Have a good one.
Thanks,
You
Greg.
too. Ryan Thomas, 4-star, Meadows at Bellevue, Section 3.
Yes, Ryan Thomas, appearing on behalf of 4-star via Zoom.
Good afternoon. Tell us what we're doing.
Come before the board today to request acceptance of our sanitary improvements, maintenance guarantees, and execution of our final plat for the Meadows at Bellevue, Section 3, which is located at the corner of Mullenix and Olive Branch Road.
On this one, the agenda, there was one error. They didn't have a performance guarantee posted, so we're not releasing any performance guarantee. However, there wasn't an inspection and testing agreement done prior to the work, but we've coordinated with Brian and they've paid the fees that are due for the inspection and testing. So
And we still need digital as-bills, correct?
I think we got them late in the day. I just need to check. I think they did send them.
Confirm that.
Yeah.
Questions for Ryan or Paul?
I'd move for approval with the digital as-bills being received.
I'll second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you, gentlemen. Have a great evening.
Two. Greg Winter, Grand Vista, on to Section 3 first.
Good afternoon, everybody. Greg Binter with Lennar. This is Grand Vista Section 3, Worsville Road and Griffith Road. We are here for the acceptance of the performance guarantee and also the acceptance and execution of inspection and testing agreements.
And the fees, Paul, everything's good on that?
Everything's good for the next 2 also when we get there.
I move that we approve the request. Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Greg will go
Thank you.
Honey Creek Farms, Section 1.
Yeah. Yep. This is Honey Creek Farm, Sections 1, right off of Smoky Road Road. Same thing. We're here for the acceptance of the performance guarantee and acceptance and execution of inspection and testing agreements.
And Paul said everything was okay, so I'll move for approval.
Second.
For the discussion, hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. One more, Greg.
One more. This is Honey Creek Farm Section 2, and same thing for this one, acceptance of performance guarantee and acceptance and execution of inspection and testing agreements.
I'll move for approval.
I'll second.
Further discussion, hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes.
Thanks, everybody. Everyone have a good night.
You too. Next, Cole Graham, Earth Resources Excavating for Ridgetop, Section 1.
Hey, good afternoon.
There we go.
Good afternoon, everybody. Just meeting with you guys here today via Zoom to talk about the road closure off of Combs Road for the water and storm improvement for Ridgetop Section 1. This will take place on the 7th through the 21st, I believe. I think that's pretty much what I got here.
June or July?
July.
Oh, I'm sorry, July, sorry.
You said, Cola said there will be access to all the properties during both closures.
Yes.
Okay, so is this gonna be a complete closure or one lane at a time?
Their request.
It will,
Go ahead, Cole.
it will be a complete closure. I do have MOT prints I sent over for the water and storm crossing to the north. But we plan to reroute them to the neighboring east and west kind of main arterials there.
I was hoping we had a visual, but it's not. I mean, I would definitely suggest those conditions that work with us, but
Cole, have you seen some of the conditions that Community Development Services has recommended?
I didn't.
Some of the conditions I've not.
Well, let me just run through them real quick. There's 5 of them. Right-of-way permits required for both phases as the work is in 2 different locations.
Right, there's a northern portion for the, I think it's the water line, and a southern portion is the storm sewer. I believe that's it.
Okay. Submission of detour routes and signage for subject to approval by the engineering department, bridge standard. Notification to all public safety, school corporations, other entities. Again, that's pretty standard. Proper notification to the Daily Journal of the road closure well in advance per the approved road closure procedure list shown on the city website. Again, that's routine standard. And then $500 per day fine for the developer or the contractor for every day the closure goes beyond the July 21, 2025 date. Right, those are your recommendations.
Yeah, those are engineering recommendations that you don't agree or have other ones, yeah.
Okay. Thoughts, comments, input?
Yeah, I mean, sounds pretty straightforward. Yeah, we can definitely get with that, get with those guys, and get those balls in motion. As soon as we get approval.
I move that we approve subject to those 5 conditions outlined in the report.
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those are passed. Thanks, Cole.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Good rest of the evening. Next, anyone from the audience wish to address us, either here in person or online? Hearing none, we'll move on to Mr. Hodson with his Corporation Council status of task.
I have a walk-on. It's for JC RMC. We're asking you to ratify a contract that the mayor signed between the city and the utility for a utility pole. Scottsdale Section 4A. It'll cost $75.60 per month.
Questions for Sam? I'll second that. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Next up is a resolution 25-06. What we'd like to do is create a program for the city to pay for employees to get their CDLs. But if they leave within 2 years of obtaining the CDL, we'd like to be reimbursed pro rata for the early termination.
Questions for Sam on that? How much is the CDL?
$5,000.
Wow.
I move to approve the resolution.
Second that.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye. You want to point out that we're not
Let's
doing
skip 10.
item number 11.
Does it cost that
No, we're
much?
not doing 10, the fire station.
Does it cost that much to get a CDL if I could drive a school bus?
I think it's up to $5,000, but yeah, it's expensive.
it,
That's all
Sam?
I have. Thank you.
Next, we'll go to you, Paul.
Okay, the first item is an encroachment request for a fence at 1074 Gateway Court. Everything is okay with the engineering division with the 3 standard conditions about not blocking drainage. If the utilities are said, you have to get into the easement, the property owner is responsible for removal and replacement, and then the property owner further holds harmless the utilities and safely damage to said fence, and then Indiana 811 is notified prior to constructing the fence with recommended approval of those conditions.
That's on the staff.
Yes.
I'll move for approval subject to those 3 conditions that are set forth. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
2 items for Main Street design segments 1 and 2, that portion between Meridian Street and Polk Avenue. The first one is a drainage and public utility easement that was needed along the east side of parcel 7, which is located at 85 East Main Street. This is for utility relocation for that segment of the project. It has, the easement document has been signed by the property owners after it was prepared by the legal department. So we're recommending the board accept and execute this drainage and utility easement for that parcel.
I move for approval.
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Final item is same project, Main Street Design segments 1 and 2. There was an offer made to parcel 23. The offer was rejected by the property owner. So we would like the board to authorize staff to move forward with condemnation on that parcel.
Same problem.
Yes. Yeah.
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Well, thank you, Paul. Greg, anything from your good office?
Nothing from me.
Thank you.
I'll move for approval of the claims as have been presented.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thanks all. We'll stand adjourned at 5:49. All you have, thanks, Chris.
Yes.